Short story. I'll tell the story. I told the story before, but I'll tell the stories. Once I was sitting on a bus in Israel. This must have been 40 years ago. I was sitting next to an old guy, and I struck up a conversation with him. And we were talking in this. And anyway, it got around that I told him that I learned in university and I have a degree in philosophy. So he said, "Do you know Martin Buber?" So I said, "Yeah, I heard of Martin Buber. I read a little bit about it. I tell you the truth, I don't enjoy reading. I'm talking about the university. I really didn't enjoy reading." So he said, "I knew personally Martin Buber." So I said, "Now Martin Buber was I mean, maybe you could call him, I guess you could call him an apicorus. He was as close as you can come." So Martin Buber, he wrote a lot of books about the Chassidim, wrote the books of the Chassidim, and he wrote stories about the Chassidim and everything. So he said that when he was in Germany, he heard a lecture by Martin Buber, and he told me, it ended up, I listened to this guy talk, and I missed like 5 stops. Anyway, so he was talking to me, and he said that he was from Germany, and that he survived the war, and that he was before the war started, it was like in the 30s, whatever. So he heard a lecture from Martin Buber, and he was so impressed. The beautiful stories about the Hasidim, because he told stories about the Hasidim. He didn't know anything about the Hasidim. He was what they call a Yeki Jew, a normal Jew of the Hasidim. So he heard these stories. He was so impressed, he cried. The person next to him said, "Don't be so excited. It could be he's not even married to a Jewish woman. He doesn't keep any of the Torah, none of the commandments." So he says, I went up to Buber, and I said to him after the lecture, and I said to him, "I understand that you don't do any of the commandments." So Buber said there's 2 types of Judaism. There's Judaism from Abraham, and there's Judaism after the Torah. The Judaism after the Torah, that's for people that are simple, normal people. They have to have all these laws. The Judaism of Abraham is philosophical, deep Judaism for elevated people. I am the Judaism of Abraham. And I said to him, "Professor, you're totally wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. There's only one Judaism. And if Abraham also would have done the commandments and said if it was after Mount Sinai, that's what true Judaism is." So Buber said to me, "You're young. You don't know. You're inexperienced. When you get to be as old as me, you'll understand." So that's it. I went through the Holocaust. I saw things, terrible, terrible things, and I survived. And I came to Israel, not to Israel, to America, and I moved to California. And what do I see? An advertisement that Buber is giving a lecture. So I went to his lecture, and this was like 7 years later, 10 years later, whatever it was. And I heard the same lecture as he gave before, same lecture. The stories of the Hasidim and emotional and everything. People were crying. And I went up to him. I said, "Professor Buber, do you remember me?" And he said, "No, I met a lot of people. I don't remember." He said, "You told me 10 years ago that, that believing in God and doing the Torah and the commandments is infantile, and that I'll get older, I'll realize." I said, "Well, I got older, and I've seen things that you'll never see, and I've experienced things that you'll never experience. And I want to tell you that you're wrong, that the Torah and the commandments is true, and what you're saying about it not being true is false, is wrong." What did he say to me? He said, "You do your thing and I'll do mine." That's what he said. "You do your thing and I'll do mine." In other words, it did not convince him at all. And that what he said, that experience will bring me wisdom, as he just said that. He didn't really mean it. He just wanted to do what he wanted to do, which shows that you can lead a Jew to water, to the Torah, but you can't make him drink. Have a good day with Mashiach now.